Oh yeah, we're good. Hello everybody! Thank you all for coming out today. So my name's Anjali. I'm a high schooler here in Providence. And I will be one of your MCs for today. And just a quick sentence on why I became involved in Sunrise. And it's because I'm here fighting for my future. So, okay, so just be silent for a moment. So before we get started with the strike, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Narragansett, Pokanoket, and Wampanoag people whose traditional lands we're currently standing on. And to acknowledge the lands is to hold respect and honor for the traditional stewards of this territory and the environment that we're now living in. And it's very important to be mindful of the land as we do this restorative environmental justice that we're fighting for today, because a just transition includes addressing issues of indigenous sovereignty. If our conversations around collective liberation don't begin with indigeneity, then what we're building is just started by falsehoods and incomplete narratives. It's also worth acknowledging that the land doesn't exist solely in a historical context. Colonialism is current and abiding today. Sorry. So it's important for us to increase our mindfulness around our present participation. I also want to take some time to acknowledge that the city of Providence would not exist without the labor of enslaved black people, and that we need to acknowledge, respect, and honor those who were forced into labor and allow us to work, live, learn, and today protest in this space. Okay. So now to start off the strike, it's important to know why we're here. So it's important to know why we're here striking today, and that's because our leadership continues to fail us every single day. So on September 20th, millions of us across the nation, across the world, took part in a strike as part of the biggest day of global protest for climate change in history. Politicians across the world cheered, tweeted, and praised us for our work, for our action. Even our own governor, Gina Raimondo, said that she was inspired to see so many young people here in RI and across the nation making their voices heard. But praise alone will not protect us. Praise alone cannot create change. Only transforming our entire economy and society can. Raimondo has always been quick to tweet support and praise us for our work. But she fails to actually use her power as the governor of Rhode Island to enact policies that will protect us from the imminent climate crisis. She hides behind her words, behind her tweets, and does the bare minimum. Fossil fuel interests continue to control her everyday decisions, and every single Rhode Islander is suffering because of it. But why is Raimondo doing this? This is because Gina Raimondo has taken over $500,000 from the fossil fuel industry. This includes out-of-state billionaires. This means that she has 500,000 reasons to not take action for her people, but for these CEOs and billionaires instead. But we are here today, striking, all of us, to tell her that she can't prioritize the profits of these fossil fuel billionaires over our futures and our safety. We are joining waves of strikers across thousands of cities and towns in the U.S., demanding that drastic and just action is taken. It's too easy for our elected officials to ignore us. We're up against the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world. But the only way to make sure our politicians are championing it for us is to make ourselves impossible to ignore. That's why we're about to march through the streets of Providence to the Statehouse, where a group of Sunrisers are occupying They are? Okay. Are occupying Governor Raimondo's office to demand that she rejects fossil fuel money and signs the No Fossil Fuel Money Pledge today. Yeah, before we get started, we have an update. So we had a meeting with Gina Raimondo at 11 a.m. to talk about her signing the No Fossil Fuel Money Pledge, and she said that she would look into it this afternoon, which means she didn't sign it, which means we need to be even louder than we anticipated before, and y'all need to make sure that she signs the No Fossil Fuel Money Pledge.
Before we move into some important safety information, we're going to do a song. Can I get my song, please, to come help me? Alright, y'all. Forgive me, I don't really have a voice right now. But use the microphone. You got it, Mara. Alright, this song is called Solid as a Rock. And it's to remind all of us why we are here today and what we're here for. Alright, so it starts like this. Repeat after me. Solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. Rooted as a tree. Rooted as a tree.